Okay, General, Jango Wuzeko Kubantu. Just 1 minute.
Thank you, the power of people power, and I always move with the power of people power. Mr. President and the Lord Mayor of Kampala, Alhaji Elias Lukwago, the top leadership of the PFF party, the invited guests like me, fellow comrades who are here, friends and the fellow revolutionists, and even the media. I'm General Vigilo Moses, the Secretary General of Common Man's Party. I am happy to be here, but before I go, yes. I have come with our national chairman, Mr. King James Watentena, our national chairman. Other top leaders, they have gone due to other factors, but let me use 1 minute on behalf of the Common Man's Party. Dr. Besigye, he contested for presidency 4 times, and I voted him 3 times. The first attempt was 2001, I was 17. As a teenager, as a young man, as a boy, I trusted Dr. Besigye and I voted him. That is 2001. I was 17 years by then. In 2006, I voted him again. Unfortunately, in 2011, I was diverted by Honorable Mao. By then, he was the party president of DP, and I was a NEC member, so I voted Honorable Mao. Again, in 2016, I voted him. So we have traveled a long journey. He's the one who introduced politics of activism. You are all aware that he's the leading political prisoner in Uganda with many times of arrest. Probably I'm the second, because I've been arrested 44 times, even if I'm not 44 old yet. But he is our father in the struggle. Dr. Besigye defined well the term politics. Others we have failed, including General Kaguta Museveni. Because the reason why we are here, we are not celebrating the 70 years of Dr. Besigye. We are celebrating the misinterpretation of politics. General Museveni defined politics as a personal thing, monopolizing the political space, arresting everybody. As the previous speaker, they have elaborated it well. The syndrome of monopolizing politics also follows us who want to chase away General Museveni. We also think that if you're not Vigilo Moses, then nothing can go on. I am telling you, politics, the reason why we are in politics, we want to manage public affairs. We want to live public life. We want to be accountable to the population. We want to be accountable to the law. We are not fighting to gain personal gain. As I finish. Therefore, to those who want to monopolize the political space, in politics is not possible. I am very happy to see Honorable Jim Akena. The evidence that politics is not controlled and managed forever is the reason why Honorable Jim Akena is here. Me and him, we are the only people who are on this occasion who buried a former president of Uganda. In 2005, I went to Akokola and buried Dr. Milton Obote. That is an evidence that you cannot monopolize politics forever. You cannot. Therefore, General Museveni, please define well politics. There is that time where we are going to talk about you when you don't exist. The same applies to opposition. Don't try to monopolize the space. It is not possible. It is not possible. Dr. Besigye, wherever you are, please stay strong. We are still with you. We are still pushing the struggle, and time is the best judge. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, General Bigirwa, for that refreshing
speaking
speech.
On behalf of the common man.
Yes.
The common woman was left behind.
And the activists. Yes. Thank you so much. The power of the people. I want to introduce for the accused, the Mlodi Chibuga Salongo Elias Tukwago. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman and President.
The Lord is good all the time, and that is in nature. A hand clap to the Lord. Praise be to the Almighty Allah, Almighty God, for this day, 70 years and still counting. Thy name should be praised. I would like, on behalf of all my colleagues here at PFF at Katonga, to express our profound gratitude to all the leaders for dedicating this day to Dr. Kizza Besigye. We thank you. We don't take it for granted. In your various capacities, since morning, you are seated here, paying tribute to Dr. Kizza Besigye. He deserved it. We thank you very much. All of you have been recognized. Speeches have been given. And you are told today marks 530 days of incarceration. You have chosen also to, at least in that spirit, to be here, to be confined. I don't want to say incarcerated here. We have confined you here without food, without soft drinks. Even the waters did not go to everybody. But you have remained firm and not moving. As I said, we don't take that for granted. We thank you very much. I think Dr. Besigye deserved that kind of tribute. To the family, we know what you are going through. We know what you have endured, all the challenges you have encountered, but you have remained steadfast and resilient. All of you colleagues, you have been in a court on several occasions. You have visited Dr. Kizza Besigye. Even on 5th, we are going to be in court, but you have not wavered at all. Thank you for standing by Dr. Kizza Besigye and to remain committed to the cause. We do appreciate all of you for that resilience and commitment. All has been said, but I'll tell you, I've been a rapporteur of the death. You have used so many superlatives and whatever to describe Dr. Kizza Besigye. But this is what I've summed up, the way you have described him. For record purposes, one, he is a true statesman that has come through, and he keeps on reverberating across the board. He is a political colossus. He is a paragon of truth and justice. All this you have said it in different terms. He is an icon and vanguard of civil liberties and social justice. He is a political juggernaut of our time. A juggernaut of our time. He is a charismatic, courageous, and fearless activist. Some of you called him a warrior. He's a patriotic and fervent advocate of rule of law and constitutionalism. He is a mentor, tutor, and father to many. He's a humble servant of God with a generous and magnanimous heart. He's a political philosopher. In a nutshell, you have described him as a political god, great of all times. Long live Dr. Kizza. Long live KB. 70 years. The Honorable Semju reminded me about the speech Dr. gave about 2 years ago when he was 68. And I want to put it in proper context. He made a reference to a parable. Is it a parable in the Bible? I don't think it's a parable. I think it is Psalms 90:10. I have it here. Verse 90:10. Psalm. The days of our years are 70, or even by reason of strength, 80 years. Yet their span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone, and we fly away. He said the Bible proclaims that our lifespan on earth is 70 years. If you are strong enough, you can live up to 80. But those 10 additional years, that bonus of 10 years, is nothing else but suffering. So those of you who are 70, that's what the Bible says. So doctor said at 68, he was left with only 2 years on the earth. That's what he said. And he made a vow, a commitment, that those 2 years is dedicating his life to the struggle, nothing else but the struggle, to put the final push to the battle and usher in the new Uganda we are yearning for. We are not surprised that actually he has almost spent those 2 years in jail, because he committed himself to the struggle and said he's sacrificing his life for these remaining 2 years. He quoted that verse in the Bible. He has lived up his commitment, and we salute him. Today, all of you from different walks of life have given testimonies. You have represented people here. There is only one party here. And when I saw my brother Asman Chiningi here, I was equally surprised. And I thought maybe they read the adverts somewhere in the social media, and they opted now to surprise us with a representative, with a sweet message that Dr. Besigye is going to be freed at 70. Dr. Besigye is going. But when I listened to his speech, it was the contrary. Initially I thought it was sent with a message, an official message from the Secretariat. When he said a dictator, what? I said, We thank you, Asman, Honorable, and for the courageous gesture you have made of appearing with us, assembling here, to also be counted, and say you stand with the forces that would like to see this country governed in a better way. We thank you very much. I think as I conclude, I wanted to mention Dr. Besigye. I think I had left out one thing. He's a laser-focused, fast, and foresighted leader. He's laser-focused, foresighted, and steadfast. I am glad out of the 70 years he has been blessed with by the Lord, I've been able to drink from his cup of wisdom for the last 26 years. Clap for me. I'm sorry to say this. On the 11th of next month, I'll be 56 years. Yes. So he's older than me by 14 years. He has mentored me. He has mentored so many. We do pay tribute on behalf of my generation and those, younger than me, for Dr. Besigye for inspiring us, inspiring many by his foresightedness, his charismatic leadership, and also the attributes he has exhibited in leading the struggle as an icon of defiance, as an icon of civil liberties. I want to remind you, the battle is still on. The legal team headed by Senior Counsel Martha Karua should also be given a pat, on the back. Martha Karua has traveled almost every time the case has come up in the court. Even the last appearance, when she failed to make it because of the change of the schedules, she sent a representative. She's been mobilizing members of the legal fraternity across the continent from different jurisdictions who have appeared here, at least in observer capacity and others advocacy and different aspects they have been pursuing. So we thank you very much, the Honorable Martha Karua, for the role you have played in that particular regard. Finally, I know it's been a long day. There's a lot we need to address. There's a lot on our plate. The political situation we are embroiled in, I can see we seem to be in autopilot, and this is dangerous. We are in a traffic jam. You know, when you are in a traffic jam, you get concerned about fuel, what, and then at times you can even switch off the engine. And say, I can see many of you have switched off the engine. We are stuck. Dr. Besigye and the other political prisoners are in the cooler. Museveni did not mince words. He said, we have some people in the fridge. They are in a freezer. They are stuck there. We don't know when they will come out. I was in Mwanga Chivumbi's case this week. The state attorney had said they will bring the committal papers on Tuesday this week. So we went there expecting Mwanga Chivumbi to be committed and 24 others to be committed to High Court for trial. They had run out of excuses, only to be told that the file had been called by the DPP under very mysterious circumstances. And the state attorney said, I have nothing to do. Court said, you also have nothing to do. And ourselves, the lawyers, nothing to do. They were taken back to jail. So with the Dr. Besigye, they wanted to hide the witnesses, to mask them, so that we do not see their identity, we do not recognize them. And they give that kind of evidence, like a cost. In other cases, they are manufacturing evidences and calling your friends and colleagues as witnesses against you. And a couple of other things, funny things they are doing. Meanwhile, in Parliament, we were put on notice by the Speaker that one of the contentious bills they are going to handle is to amend the Constitution to scrap the adult suffrage. And we have an electoral college. Parliament will be dissolved into an electoral college to elect a president in not so distant future. So that is the situation we are in. Meanwhile, those colleagues of ours, the political prisoners, are kept in the freezer. Ourselves, the different political parties represented here, the Honorable Zedrick has been so clear that we have built walls, brick walls, very thick walls. We have cocooned ourselves in those political parties. The population out there, they are all desperate. They don't know what's going to happen. So we are in a political traffic jam. How do we get out of this political traffic jam? how do we extricate ourselves out of this situation, which was best described by General Mugisha Muntu here and a couple of all of you who gave testimonies. That's not for me to answer today. As we pay tribute to Dr. Kizza Besigye, let's reflect on the challenges before us and get a solution as early as possible before we are vanquished. Dr. Besigye used to talk about the existential threat. At times, people took it for granted and as if it was just rhetorical talk. Now the reality is with us. We either fight together or we perish and sink together. Long live Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye. Long live PFF. Long live Uganda. Long live all of us. May we be grateful to the Lord for this day and say, Ebenezer. In my religion we say, Alhamdulillah. Webale Mukama Katonda. Ruhanga twakusiima. Lukanga asimwe. How do I say it? Afoyo Rubanga. Apoyo Rubanga. No. Is that the correct one? Wonderful. May God bless you all. I salute you.
The family Dr. Kizza Besigye, the larger family, the GFA family. The clergy, they are still around here. The leaders of the parties, the leader of group, Madam Zebriga, UPC party president, Secretary General, and the whole delegation of the group, the delegation of UPC. The other party leaders understand the mentioned leaders from PPP and chairman. The honorable members of parliament here are present. The colleagues with whom I came, presenting, let me first apologize on behalf of our party leader, Honorable Salaso, who has not been able to make it. He sends apologies. Here with Honorable Sege, Ambassador Sempala, Edith, and Ismail Kasole, who is our toehold now in Parliament. We have a member of Parliament, Ismail Kasole. All the leaders in the struggle, I see quite a number. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank God that we are able to be here. Oh, I see the leader also. I think it's called. No, not that. That is just a symbol. The name of the party. The representative, yes, the secretary general is there. We thank God that we are here to celebrate Dr. Kizza Besigye's 70th birthday. It's unfortunate that he's not here with us because he's incarcerated. I recognize Honorable Ken Chamzi, CP. March. I went to the book. Dr. Kizza Besigye, who had been incarcerated in either mid or late 80s at the conference center, by God's grace, he managed to get through, had run to Nairobi, where he had managed to get a placement as a doctor in Aga Khan Hospital. In May 81, he voluntarily left that placement as a doctor at a current hospital, and he came to the bush. And we've known each other since that time. The only two qualified doctors in the bush. Honorable Dr. Kizza and the late Dr. Tata. Many survived because of Dr. Kizza and the late Tata. People who have been, they would cut out surgical measures or treatment without theater, without treatment, anything. You can imagine conditions, people where there's no permanent camp, people are moving all the time. But they did the best they could. And of course, a few qualified medical professionals who are like at the level of nursing for the 5 years. The survival of many of the leaders and the soldiers who have become casualties was because of Dr. Kizza. It wasn't easy. By God's grace, we took power in 86. Dr. Kizza became Minister of Internal Affairs. I remember that in the house near Saints, who I used to visit when I was a Minister of Internal Affairs. From there, he became the National Political Commissar. Then was the commander of the Mechanized Brigade, Mataka, and then became the Chief of Logistics in the Army. 2000 is when there was now a fallout. It was the first incidental. Much as there have been disagreements simmering below the surface. The open breakout was when Dr. Kizza wrote the document, which I think was referred to by Honorable Salam Sumba. And we all know what culminated from that, 2001, the competition, which took the establishment. Because for the first time, for someone to come from within the establishment and compete, shook the foundations of the establishment. Immediately after the election of 2001, that's when Dr. Kizza went to South Africa. And then 2004, that's when Dr. Kizza returned, that's when we formed FDC. And we all know what happened in 2006, the elections of 2006, 2011, 2016. The establishment feared challenges from someone from within. But that also opened up space in the political sphere. And the contention is still ongoing. There is no resolution yet. Now, in talking about Dr. Kizza Besigye, I'd like to bring out two values. Many people seem not pay attention to. Courage and resilience. Also choice. See, human beings, all of us, God gave us one thing, uniformly. Choice. In life, as you go through life in whatever area of endeavor you are in, whether in politics, whether you are in business, wherever you are, you make choices. Every time in our life, there's nobody who never reaches a crossroads. All of us reach crossroads. Every time any of us reaches a crossroads, there are always two options. Making the choice to do what is right. Also making the choice to know what is right, but do what is wrong. The way we are created, every human being has got soul, spirit, and body. Many people seem not to realize that the struggles we engage in on the outside vis-a-vis other people, vis-a-vis issues of right and wrong, issues of justice and injustices. All these struggles are rooted. That's where it starts. That question of choice. Unfortunately, I have never understood exactly why. Every time you reach a crossroads and you are faced with that issue of making a choice, right or wrong, it seems that most of the time, the right choices take you through very difficult paths. And when you decide to take the path of comfort, most times it is when you have decided to do what is wrong, even when you know what is right. Because there is that contention. When you choose to stand for what is right, you will meet resistance. You'll go through difficult situations. Whether to compromise and say, you know what, I cannot stand this. I'd rather live a comfortable life with my family, enjoy myself, live my life on earth, and then exit. When you compromise, something dies in you. The Bible says that what does it benefit a man, I suppose also women, to gain the whole world and lose one's own soul? But when leaders or people choose to take the difficult path and suffer discomfort, takes courage, also builds resilience. And in politics, it's important to have such men and women who choose to take the difficult path regardless of the discomforts they're going to be, regardless of the harrowing nature of the challenges they're going to go through. There is no society which can live as a free people unless it has such men and women. It's just simply not possible. We have societies which are alive. You go into a community, there are people who breathe, who eat, who do all kinds of things, but who live in a state of slavery. Therefore, contention at the end of the day is, what does society choose to do? And society stands when it has got men and women who are courageous, who are resilient. Those are the things we need to study and understand and appreciate about Dr. Kizza. The courage to make decisions even when he knows the consequences of those decisions. Two, to remain resilient and not give up. Dr. Kizza has got many choices. If we simply say, forget about the people, the country, and whatever. Let me just live a comfortable life. If you make that choice, you'll definitely be in Kasanga. Clearly. Now, we need to understand that since creation, all systems that want to press people do one thing. They will employ all instruments at their disposal to cause people to give up hope, to participate in their own oppression. That's how dictatorship survive.
That's why all dictatorships employ all manner of instruments at their disposal to undermine the will of the people and impose their own will on those people. Communities, societies can never break down when there are men and women who remain resilient, who remain strong, because they become for the people who are being oppressed. Why do you think all dictatorships, in the all instruments they use, in terms of information, in terms of psychology, to leaders, to show that all leaders can compromise? Because they know that once all leaders are compromised, community will give up. Majority of the people, peasants, never lead themselves. They have to be led by leaders, most times who come from the elite class, in whatever struggles they find themselves. Regimes across the whole world will spend lots of time and effort. Many times they even employ psychologists to study human behavior, to know what buttons do you push to compromise. They profile everybody. They understand the weaknesses. They understand the strength. Dictatorships never build leaders where they are weak to make them stronger, because they are dictatorships. Societies which prosper, there has to be management, those who are leadership, who also study people and know where their weaknesses and build strength where they are weak and reinforce where they are strong. Dictatorships do the opposite. They will profile everybody and know how do we bring this one down, how do we bring that one down, how do we bring that one down. So that eventually the population gives up hope, becomes compromised, and participates in their own subjugation. Societies which have men and women who remain standing in spite of whatever is thrown at them, those societies eventually overcome the challenges. We salute Dr. Kizza. One, for making courageous decisions. Two, for remaining resilient. Now, as our generation starts buying out of politics, the younger generation, you need to know these things. You need to build men and women who will not bow, regardless of whatever they need. That is at the core of the struggle we're engaged in. Nothing else. In the army, you can have a very well organized and strong army, well equipped, with officers and men well trained with modern equipment, and you can defeat your adversary, even when you are not necessarily doing what is right. You impose your will on your adversary. But that only is as far as physical occupation. Because I've seen countries which have taken over other countries and they occupy them. But when you are not able to impose your will on the spirit of the people, meaning that you cannot break their spirit, they will throw you out. There are clear examples. Americans were whipped in Vietnam. Afghanistan, you may agree or disagree with the ideology, that's not the issue here. The issue is the spirit of it. Afghanistan is unique in the sense that it has whipped two nuclear powers in its time. Soviet Union went there. The Afghans could not be broken. They fought. They took their country. Then the Americans and Europe and then the coalition of the willing were there 20 years. The Afghans could not be broken. That's the power of the spirit of the people. Even when we are physically occupied, as long as you are not broken in the spirit, nobody can subjugate you. They can occupy you, but they cannot make you participate in your own oppression. The struggle, therefore, and the core of the struggle that we are in is at the level of the mind. That's where you start from. If people get defeated at the level of the mind, you are done. You are basically done. So as a educated, clearly, Dr. Kizza is courageous. Number of choices he has made in his life. He could have decided to take the comfortable path, even when he was in Nairobi. He could have remained there as a doctor. Why on earth would he have to come back? He was already out there. Took the choice of coming to science. Incarcerated many times, but remains resilient, believing in what he believes in and what he struggles for, justice and fairness in our society. We thank you all colleagues who have come to celebrate 70 years of his life on earth. If he hadn't remained resilient, I doubt whether there would be many people here anyway. That's what many people forget. I can tell you every time someone is broken, they come forgotten. We have seen many examples. I'm not going to go through that. You break, you lose trust of the people for whom you've been struggling with. Even the one who breaks you ceases to respect you. That's another thing many people don't understand. Those who choose the path of comfort. So as I close, the situation we're operating within is very, very precarious. Lot of uncertainty. Of course, if you meet the people in the regime, for them, they think everything is done. Everything is under wraps. All dictatorship think like that. Until the day when things turn round and nobody can control anything anymore. That happens all the time. I've always wondered why people who run dictatorships never learn from what has happened to others. Nevertheless, we all in the same country. Those, you can have Sukhois, you can have tanks, you can have long range artillery, you can even have missiles. Those are chariots and horses. Those who understand the Bible, you know what the Bible says. God says those who believe in chariots and horses will be brought down. That's happened since creation. You can't even understand why people can't understand that. So how do we manage the current situation in which we are? Because where we're heading, I don't want to many people are trying to think I'm someone who is pessimistic, yet I'm not. But I'm an internal optimist, yet I'm a realist. I tend to think that where we're heading could easily, it must not be the case, but could easily be worse than where we are at now. Shaping the future where we're heading, guiding it so we can remain with the country that is intact. It's a big challenge. Those in power, hopefully there are those inside, you keep getting signals that there are those who also recognize that. Those of us who are in change is inevitable, the physical change is inevitable. It has happened many times, not only in Uganda, many countries, change happens. One hopes that we will see change, which is inevitable, also have a country that remains intact. And the group that goes in can start putting it back on track. That's what we have to keep working on. The younger generation, you are the majority, you have the numbers, you have to build courage and resilience unless you want to live as an enslaved people. Why do I say so? Because many times we are so focused on the internal domestic challenges, some people seem to think that we are like an island. No. Every time we look at the domestic situation, you need also to keep our eyes open what is happening on the external front. There are global dynamics which are unfolding. Nobody's going to stop them. And we are interlinked with what is happening on a global scale and on a regional scale. So a country to maneuver within those complexities, the international as it is related, the regional as it is related, the domestic, for the survival of our people, to live as a free, proud people, and not be subjugated and enslaved as would happen to countries where there are leaders who can't see that. We need to really think deeply about this challenge. The domestic level, the interrelationship with what is happening at the domestic level, with what is happening at the regional and the international level. They are interconnected. So the higher we resolve our own internal domestic situation, the better we would be positioned as a people to live as a free people. Because they are forcing. The world is made up of people who don't care about others. The world is made up of people who believe in the use of force, the use of manipulation, as much as the domestic situation have leaders who think like that. So for us to survive as a people, as a free people, as a proud people, using the resources which are God given to lift up this country, the young people, you have to have leaders who are courageous, who are resilient, because the battles we are heading towards are complex. They are very, very complex. But how we interact at the regional and the international level is going to be dependent on what the situation is going to be here at the domestic level. If you have a bunch of people like those in power, I don't think they really care about the dignity of people. If they dig into the people is the core of our human existence when we are still here on earth. So we thank you all colleagues and ladies and gentlemen who've come here for this day. It's unfortunate that we are not with Dr. Kizza, who is just celebrating 70 years. Imagine there is a mandatory law that says 180 days, there is completion. Go and go to the home. It is 500 and how many? 30 days. I remember I asked some colleagues whom I bumped into, those who are in power. I asked, how do you want to be treated when you're out of power? Which will happen down the road? It always happens. You can't permanently remain. At some point you get out. So yeah, I asked him, how do you want to be treated? And I don't know whether we are thinking about that. But we need to have a turning point for a country, even when you are first in politics, then you don't become enemies. But there's also justice. But there's also fairness. Dr. Kizza is in prison. Honorable one is out of the country. Haj obeyed Kamrege is also incarcerated along with Dr. Kizza. Many political leaders, many youth of no are also in prison. Instead of relaxing the situation, the regime keeps pushing. Those who are in the regime, you need to start relaxing the situation and creating conditions on how change which inevitably happen. How we can retain a country that is intact. I like to recommend those who are in power to read, not to read, to watch. They should seek for, and also those who are not in power necessarily. the change of Mubarak in Egypt. Because many people are unattracted by the street demonstrations, but there's a history. There are two Al Jazeera documentaries, 30 minutes each, and you see the internal dynamics that were within the Egyptian government before a situation which erupted far from Egypt. In Tunisia, a guy called Bouazizi who was selling food, the policewoman took the food, the man had reached breaking point, he got petrol, poured it on himself, burnt himself in Tunisia. And then an insurrection broke out in Egypt. Imagine, completely, they always bring a point. I'm not saying that it will be triggered, but every situation has got its own dynamics. I don't. Nobody knows. I can tell you nobody knows. Only God knows what's going to happen. You don't know. Those who are in the regime think they know. You don't. You who are in the regime who think you know. You don't. As time will clearly show to us that actually you didn't know. You will see how, for example, Gamal. Gamal was the son of the late Mubarak. And I think Mubarak was grooming him to become the leader. And then at some point, even Gamal is one who had chosen the cabinet. But down the road, Mubarak, I think, thought it was not yet time for him to bow, so he remained around, and it caused internal misunderstandings even within the ruling party itself. And then the insurrection came, their own history. I'd also like to encourage those who are in power and those who are not in power necessarily to look for a book called 2 weeks in November. I think 2 weeks in November. It's by an American journalist about Zimbabwe. Because many people know what happened at the end, but they don't know the history of the evolution, internal dynamics that caused the fall of Mugabe. And you can trace everywhere where they have been falling of dictatorships. Every time a leader stays in power for a long time and there are no stable institutions and open, transparent systems of governance, power gets concentrated in the hands of one strong man. They have always been men. Maybe when he was a woman, maybe it was a woman. They have always been men. A strong man. Well, maybe. So, one strong man, systems weaken, institutions become compromised, the abnormal becomes normalized, the population loses hope. And then towards the end, normally what happens, almost in every such situation, when the leader has been there too long, internal dynamics evolve of people positioning themselves for takeover from the internal circles. Always factions start forming. Countries which are lucky, the institutions hold together so that when change happens, the countries remain intact. Countries which are unlucky because of the internal dynamics at times which spill into the national state security apparatus, split, and one thing just a trigger, and everything just falls apart. Countries which are unlucky, that happens. We came here to celebrate Dr. Kizza Besigye's 70th birthday through prayer, which means that we believe in God. True or not true? Yeah. So the very God we believed in praying this moment, the same God we keep praying to. So that when the inevitable change happens, which will happen, the country remains intact. Because it's only God, in my own estimation, who's just holding us by the thread. There are those who think they're holding us, they are not. They don't understand one thing at all. God bless you all. Courage, resilient. Young people, you are the majority. You know how to network. Sit amongst yourselves. Evolve leaders who are courageous, who are strong, who know to break down because of the pressures which are upon all of you. We know that the situation is quite tough. But for us to have a society, a community of people, now we have 47 million people. Down the road, about 2 decades down the road, we're going to become 100 million people. We have 100 million people who will live a life of dignity. Men and women who will be proud. It's going to be dependent on how many young people, courageous, resilient, and focused on values and principles to galvanize yourself, network, and become the backbone against the challenges of our times. May God bless you.
Thank you so much, General. You can clap better. You can clap better. Yes. He's even receiving a standing ovation. Thank you so much, General. That was such a wonderful presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've had the speeches. Let's recognize some of our friends, colleagues that have joined us. Allow me to recognize the arrival and the presence of Dr. Olive Kosinje. Those who have not read her books, you need to. Because for me, I have read both her books. Kaija utabo bw'omumanyi. Bw'ona obulina. Which one and which one? The correct line? Plus the patient. Yes, they are very, very nice books. The correct line is a very nice book if you want to know what KB has gone through, where he came from, Sasi, how he was killed. I'm sorry to talk about that. And the patient, if you want to know how dead our health system is, you need to read The Patient. Allow me also recognize there are people that we have had the leaders, we have had the people that Dr. Kizza was with in the bush, but there are people, I'll point just a few of them, that have been in the actual trenches with Dr. Kizza Besigye. Allow me to recognize Commander Land Forces, Ingrid Turinawe. Allow me to also recognize, I said I'll pick out 3. The Honorable Mujuche Francis. I don't know if you remember, after being shot by a rubber bullet and we got stuck in our lift at Case Clinic. Allow me to also recognize, in his absence, we are actually told he's in a very sorry state. Sam Mogomia. Whenever they would go to arrest Dr. Kizza Besigye, Sam would always make sure that Besigye is not arrested alone. So we send prayers to Sam Mogomia, but prayers are not enough. We need to fight